This is not the city where you can automatically see the best in people. One thing I realized is that people go broke trying to look rich here. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Christina, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. So today's video is all about how I remain authentic in a city like Atlanta, which is known for being toxic, fake, fraudulent, inauthentic. And I think that this is a super important topic that I want to talk about, because since I've moved here, there have been numerous occasions where I could feel myself changing, and numerous times where I felt like this city was starting to change me, and it took everything in me to just not let it change me. And one reason why I think this is because you are your environment. When I first moved here, I was excited to be in a different city. I was excited to get out there and meet people and have a good time. But if you fall into the wrong places or the wrong crowds or the wrong environments, you can easily just fall victim to it. So that's why I'm making this video, to talk about the things that I did to like not succumb to Atlanta, because it can be so easy to let the city change you if you let it. So the first one is, you gotta know your values before coming down here. And I think this is kind of obvious, but I feel like a lot of people don't, because what happens is people move down here and they just see what everyone else sees. They just see that this is a growing city, it's up and coming, there's a lot of opportunities here, so they just automatically think that this is gonna be the place for them. And that may work out in some people's situations, but I definitely don't think that this works out in everybody's situations, because if you get caught up in the wrong crowd, that can easily lead to your downfall real quick. If you stand for nothing, you will fall for everything. Like, if you do not have a strict idea about why you came here, your intentions about coming here, what you plan to gain from this city, if you cannot answer those questions, why are you moving here? Because I do think that Atlanta has a mix of opportunities for different people, and it is a great place to grow, and it is a great place to learn more about yourself 100%. But it can be so easy to just get into the wrong things and fall into the wrong crowds. I feel like if I did not come down here with a strict plan and come down with a moral compass of what I plan to do and what I did not plan to do, I think my story could have been completely different. And the next one is, you have to find your community. You have to surround yourself with like-minded people, because I can be the first to admit, when I moved down here, I got so excited about the idea of certain things and the lifestyles that certain people lived, that I got myself in a lot of situations that were not conducive to why I moved down there in the first place. Like, I just ended up surrounding myself with people with bad intentions, people who didn't have any goals for themselves. And when you surround yourself with people like that, that rubs off on you. Your environment, the people that you surround yourself with, rubs off on you. So when I'm surrounded by people who just live day by day, not knowing where the next check is gonna come from, not knowing what they're even doing there, that mindset and that lifestyle could have eventually rubbed off on me if I let it. In complete transparency, when I very first came here like 2 years ago, I definitely ended up in some situations because I surrounded myself with people that really didn't have any type of moral compass. And looking back, it's like, why did I even associate myself with people like that? Because that's not anything similar to what I have going on for myself. I can take accountability that the reason why I was doing that is because I was just excited with like the places we would go or the people we would talk to, but it's not worth it. Like, those kind of things are so fleeting and they're just so in the moment that it's like, it's not even worth derailing your entire plans to partake in those types of activities. And another part that goes into finding like-minded people is surrounding yourself with people who will tell you about yourself. Because honestly, I can say that the people in my life who really did have the best intentions for me, they would tell me to my face if they saw me changing, if they saw me acting a way that wasn't true to who I am as a person. And I just needed that wake-up call sometimes. Like, sometimes I really just needed somebody to tell me, Christina, why are you acting like that? That's not you. And if you surround yourself with yes men or people who really don't have the best intentions for you, you're never gonna even know that that's happening to you. And also, surrounding myself with like-minded people has been one of the most game-changing things for me in Atlanta, because it really does keep me motivated. Because I chose to surround myself with women and just people in general who just have such high expectations for themselves, have such high goals, and this is what keeps me focused and keeps me motivated and pushes me to become a better person. So the next one is, it takes a lot of self-reflection. Like, I think in general, I just think moving anywhere new, you have to have a lot of mental strength and mental toughness, because you're putting yourself in a completely new environment that you may have never been familiar with before. So with that being said, just having the self-reflection and really just having the self-awareness about yourself. Because honestly, there have been moments where I had to take a look in the mirror and I saw that I was not liking the person I was becoming. Like, I wasn't okay with the fact that I was starting to view relationships differently and kind of start to expect more from people who really didn't owe me me anything. And I can be completely honest that that mindset kind of infiltrates you after a while of being here, because it's everywhere. Like when you just are somewhere where a majority of people think the same way, it takes a lot of mental toughness to go against the grain and continue to have your own beliefs in an environment where the majority of people think the same way. So in some moments since I moved down here, I just realized that I wasn't proud of like the person I saw myself becoming, and I just nipped it in the bud, because I'm like, no, like that's not who I am, that's not my values. And I just really made sure that I did everything in my power to address my behavior. So the next thing that I really had to do in the city is I had to learn how to spot inauthenticity. And this is so important because a lot of people will like be very nice, very inviting to your face, but really have no type of good intentions for you. So one thing that the city has been great at doing for me is like, you can kind of sniff it out now. Like if you're here long enough, you just kind of get in the habit of learning people's intentions for you, and that has really helped me avoid so many situations, because it's like I know better now. It's like before I may have been naive to a lot of things, because I'm from Indiana, and in Indiana it's like there's really not that many instances that I personally experienced where I had to like question people's intentions for me. But that completely flipped when I got here, because when I got here, after ending up in a couple situations, I learned that I had to question everybody's intentions for me. It really just took me not being as naive, and that's something that, I mean, for me, it took me time to learn, because personally I just feel like my automatic response to people is to see the best in people. But this is not the city where you can automatically see the best in people. This is a city where you have to automatically have your guard up, and I'm not saying that means be rude to them, I'm not saying that means off-putting to them. I personally had to start leading with a wall up, and then the more I really started to know somebody, I could start taking that wall down. But this is not a place where you can immediately start with having your wall down, because these people will try to take advantage of you the very second that you do that. And the next thing I had to do is I had to set boundaries with how much I engaged in certain activities, because we all know what Atlanta is known for. It's known for partying, it's known for the nightlife, it's known for the clubs and the, you know, the music scene and everything like that. And when I first moved here, I was just in the mindset of, I'm young, I want to have fun, I want to go out and experience that. But after a while, first of all, it got repetitive. It's just the same thing over and over. The energy feels, well, okay, I'm getting off topic basically. But after a while of doing those things, I realized that is when I saw myself changing the most, because I was just in these energy draining environments. And I'm solely just talking from my experience, so I'm not trying to make a generalized statement or anything, but based off of my experiences, I just noticed that the more that I was engaging in those type of environments, I just saw more of a change in my behavior. So once I started noticing that, I immediately just began to set boundaries with how much I engaged in those things. When I first moved here and didn't have a job yet, I was going out maybe every single weekend. And now that I kind of have a different mindset about things, I don't even remember the last time I went out to a club, just because me personally, I really started to think like, what is this doing for me? Like, who are the people I am meeting in these environments? And then I really thought, like, I have not met one good friend in a club. I've never met one good potential dating person in a club. And I realized that I wasn't even enjoying my time when I was there. So I was really like, why am I going somewhere? First of all, spending money on parking, spending money, well, I didn't really spend money to get in, but anyways, just wasting my time and effort to go somewhere where I'm getting literally nothing from it. So once I realized that, I really kind of stopped engaging in that. And I'm not saying everyone has to just never go to the club. Like, of course, if that's something that you enjoy, do it. Like, why not, you know? But I'm just saying, for me personally, it was more of a, why am I doing this? Because I don't like doing anything if I can't know the reason for why I'm doing something. So when it came to lessening the amount of times that I go out and hang out in those types of environments, I've been replacing that with going to places that are more beneficial for me. I found that I make the most friends in a lot of professional networking environments, and I get the most benefits when I go to places to network, to just meet people who are more professional. So now that's where I go, and I feel like I'm actually getting something from it. I feel like I'm learning from people who are in certain positions that I'm interested in. I feel like I'm networking with women and people who really have goals and ambitions for their life. So it really just made me realize that that was not the kind of environment that I wanted to continue to put myself in. And then I just became way more intentional about where I decided to place myself. Next thing that I had to do to remain authentic in the city is I stopped making comparisons. Guys, if you make comparisons in the city, you will never stop chasing things that don't exist. The things that people have down here, they really don't have. The cars that they drive here are leased. The jewelry that they have is rented. People just always flex and flaunt and act like they have this grand lifestyle, but you don't know the half behind how they got there. And 9 times out of 10, I can list so many people that I've met that just had this persona, like they were somebody, or that they had all these things, and if you just took your time to do some research, it was just all fake. Like all fake, nothing that they could really back up, nothing that they actually had. It was just all a front. So if you come to the city thinking, oh my gosh, like these people, they have this lifestyle, they drive this car, they have this house, I need to get that, I need to have that. That is gonna be your fastest way that you're gonna go down the wrong path, because everything in the city is fast money. Everything in the city is, yeah, you can get it fast, but you lose it faster. Like, one thing I realized is that people go broke trying to look rich here. And that is something that really changed my perspective, because instead of trying to look the part, I actually am working to being the part and having these things behind my name instead of just looking the part. So just realize that a lot of these people just look the part. They're just all are in competition with each other. The minute that you realize that is the minute that you kind of stop feeling the need to like compete or like keep up with people, because they can't even keep up with their own lifestyle, basically. Because it's like, why would I keep up with people who are literally spending their last dollar to impress somebody else? Like, that never made sense to me, and it's just not a smart thing to do. But nevertheless, a lot of people here do that, and I'm not saying that's everybody. I'm certainly not saying that everyone does that, but I have definitely known a fair share of people who do that. So that's all I'm saying. Okay, so the last thing that I think really kept me an authentic person in Atlanta is I really just had to get used to the fear of missing out. And I can admit, I'm the type of person where I do have FOMO real bad. Like, if people are going places, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I want to go, like I want to do that. Like, and especially in Atlanta where you just see so much stuff happening at one time. For me, at first, it was really difficult for me to like say no, like I don't want to do that. Like, it was really difficult for me to like turn it down, because I would just want to be in the mix. But I just realized that nothing really good happens in the mix, because that's where all the chaos happens, that's where all the problems happen. So I just really had to get used to just not being in the mix. I had to get used to being at home and just taking care of business, because once again, like I said earlier, nothing good came from that anyway. So I just had to get used to the feeling of feeling left out and feeling like I'm the odd one out for not going out. And you know what, that's fine. And so once I realized that, that just made it way more easier for me to not want to go out and everything. And another thing is, I realized that the reputation surrounding Atlanta is optional. Like, you do not have to involve yourself with that if you do not want to. You don't have to engage in those kinds of activities if you don't want to. And there are definitely so many more things and environments that you can place yourself in that have nothing to do with the mainstream reputation of Atlanta. There are just so many other things you can do. So knowing that information, I just realized that why am I trying to be in the mainstream reputation of Atlanta when that's not conducive to what I want to be doing and it's not benefiting me. Okay guys, so that was all I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and once again, what I said today is strictly my opinion based off of my experiences. So let me know what you guys think about it, or let me know if you guys have any other experiences to add to the conversation, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.